Okay, we are calling this Hackensack City Council special meeting to order. It is Wednesday, January 28th, 2026. It is 5:01 p.m. If you can read the notice, please. Thank you.
This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 10:4-6 at SEC, notice of which was sent to the record and the Star Ledger and was posted on the municipal bulletin board.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Gaines?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Toomey?
Here.
Councilman Carroll?
Here.
Councilwoman Clark Collins?
Here.
Councilman Diaz?
Okay. If everyone can please rise to the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'm going to ask for a motion to head into executive session.
I'll offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I'll abstain. I'm just going to note for the record, I'm not going to participate in executive session tonight. When we are out of executive session, when they are out from executive session, I will make my way back onto the dais. Thank you.
Just to be clear, Mayor, you're recusing yourself from the closed session.
Yes,
Thank you.
correct. Yes, thank you. Okay, thank you everyone for your patience. They are back out of executive session. We have no reports, presentations from professionals or department heads. I want to make some space. City Manager, you have anything? Are you okay? Okay. So we are moving on to public comment on agenda items only. We changed the format in the summer, I believe, of the meeting, so I just want to orient everyone to it in case you are new. So there are 2 items on the docket for today. If you would like to speak on either of those 2 items, you are welcome to come up in just a moment. You will have time. I will keep time for you. There is no clock, no visible clock. And if you start to go beyond 3 minutes, I will just ask you politely to bring your point to a close, and I ask that you please do that. Okay, so can I have a motion to open to the public on agenda items only?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, any member from the public wishing to speak on any agenda item? Sorry, and when you come forward, just please state your name, thank you, and your municipality, your address, thank you.
My name is Josh Cohen. I live on 234 Clinton Place. I grew up in Hackensack, attending our public schools from pre-K through high school. I chose to move back to raise my family here because I believe in this city and its values. I have 2 young children. My oldest is in kindergarten. My youngest is expected to start pre-K3 next year. And like many families, we were deeply shaken to learn that the school district is facing a serious deficit in the current school year. The uncertainty has been unsettling. Parents are worried about class stability, staffing disruptions, and what the rest of the year may bring. For my own family, it's not an abstract concern. If classroom staffing becomes unstable mid-year, we're seriously considering homeschooling for the remainder of the year to avoid further disruption for our child. I know we would not be the only family forced to weigh difficult alternatives if instability continues. Even short-term disruption in our schools has long-term consequences. It affects student learning, family confidence, staff morale, and the reputation of our district, which will impact housing values. Families make life decisions based on whether they believe their schools are stable and supported, and once that trust is shaken, it's very hard to rebuild. This one-time transfer is not about excusing past failures. It's about protecting students now and giving the district the breathing room needed to put proper financial controls and cultural remediation in place so it doesn't happen again. When I shared a news article about this situation with a friend who doesn't live here, his response was, well, you wanted to move there. And I did, for moments like tonight, because Hackensack shows up for its residents in difficult times. Thank you. This council is demonstrating that commitment tonight, hopefully. At a time when national politics are divisive, you focused on unity. When our schools have faced unexpected challenges, you're stepping forward to offer support. Supporting this ordinance sends a clear message to families like mine that Hackensack values its children, its schools, and its future. I urge you to adopt this ordinance. Thank you for your leadership.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, Board.
Good
My
evening.
name is Ron Towns. I'm a resident here in Hackensack, and I've been through the whole school system here. I found out about this situation with the $6.5 million in the Board of Education deficit from someone that lives all the way upstate. And I found out about this maybe 5 days ago. I saw the video of what the auditor had presented, and to be honest with you, it is a mess. This is something, based on my experience dealing with audits and investigations for 38 plus years, should never have happened. There should have been an audit report done every year to bring this up. There should have been some kind of internal controls that should have been in place. I've never been to a facility where you didn't have a table of organization and you don't know who's responsible for what. As far as internal controls is concerned, this is something that should be on the council's recommendation with regards to the Board of Ed. And the 6.5 million, I don't know where it's coming from, but my question is, from the city's standpoint, is there going to be a point person to monitor and to look at how this money is being spent? I don't know who you may want to designate that to, but you don't want the same thing occurring again if there's no controls in place. That's all I have to say right now. I know there was probably other board members that may be still on the board as to why they did not bring this up. If an auditor's report was done every year, and if there was something that may have been not too right, they should have taken upon themselves to speak with the county, because I don't know what the county does in that particular point. But then something should have been reported to the state and have them come in and look at it to avoid those years that had occurred where there was a zero balance every year. Doesn't happen in business. Doesn't happen. So I hope that going forward, as everyone normally would say, this is what we're going to do, but controls must be in place. Even if they have to hire someone that's independent, that report directly to the school administrator, so they can do their work from throughout Hackensack school system. And that would normally be an internal auditor that would have independence. And also someone that you may appoint, if you can, that will report back to the city council as well. So this would not happen again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Shauna Hill, Shortridge, 85 Maple Avenue, here in Hackensack. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. Before I start my day, I usually start off with a little word of prayer to myself and just, a self-affirmation. So just allow me to do that before I address you. Dear God, thank you for getting me through another day. Thank you for giving me a moment to pause, breathe, and be reminded of your faithfulness. My mind has had a lot of heavy thoughts, and sometimes it feels like my thoughts have been running wild, and it's hard to focus or feel any sense of peace. But I know you're not asking me to carry this weight by myself. Your word in Isaiah 26:3 says, You will keep me in perfect peace, those whose minds are steadfast because they trust you. Thank you for inviting me to come to you, to bring every thought that feels too heavy and lay it down. Help me to stop replaying in my mind what's been difficult and start trusting you with what's ahead. I don't want to let fear rule my decisions or let anxiety take my joy. And so with that, I stand before you with a heart full of gratitude that is threefold. First, I speak as a parent. Thank you for protecting the consistency my son will experience as he continues second grade. As parents, we know that children don't just learn from books. They learn from stability, from familiar faces, from knowing that tomorrow will look a lot like today. Consistency builds confidence. Consistency builds trust. And consistency allows our children to grow, not just academically, but emotionally. Because of your decision, my child gets to keep growing in a space that feels safe and secure. Second, I speak as a teacher. Thank you for ensuring that my scholars will not have their learning disrupted, that their teachers will not be tossed to and fro, here one day and gone the next. Our students deserve adults who can fully show up for them, mind, heart, and soul, without the fear of uncertainty hanging over their heads. When teachers feel supported, students strive. Tonight, you chose to support, pray, the very people who pour into our children every single day. And third, I speak as a resident of this community. Thank you for seeing the need and choosing to act on it. I know this was not an easy decision. I know it requires deep thought, hard conversations, and difficult trade-offs. But I am confident it was also a decision rooted in humanity, compassion, and love. Love for our students first. This $6.5 million relief is not just about dollars. It's about values. It's about choosing children. It's about choosing educators. It's about choosing the future of our community. Tonight, you reminded us that we come together when we lead with care, courage. We are stronger. Our schools are stronger, and our children are stronger. Thank you for standing with us. Thank you for believing in our students, and thank you for investing in what matters most, our students. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public wishing to speak on these agenda items?
Hi, Donna West. Where do I live? Oh, gosh. It's been a long day. 75 Union Street in Hackensack. I wasn't going to speak, but I wanted to just put a face and our blue and gold HEA t-shirt so you would know that we are sincerely grateful for the way that we are, like Shauna said, praying that this vote will go. When I first heard about this pouring in this amount, I was crying. I just could not stop crying. Texting all of my colleagues because we had been praying for something that God would do, and for him to move so quickly. I'm a crier, so don't. But you have no idea. Like just last week, we had colleagues who were crying, who didn't know what they were going to do next. And all they kept thinking about was, what's going to happen to my kids? Because we don't call them our students. Like she said, scholars, we call them babies, we call them our kids. And then I watched them the next day say, you know what? Okay, if that's what it is, I got to do what I got to do. Like they had resigned themselves to the fact that they needed to do whatever they needed to do because they understood that although this was not something that we created, but it was something that was put upon us. And we still had to show up in these next few months and weeks for our children. And so I just want you to know that I'm praying that you will vote yes, because it's not just numbers on an agenda, or it's human beings. And I saw them this week, the next day, with smiles on their faces. Parker School had 100% attendance of certificated staff. And Dr. Galliana comes up to me right before I'm leaving and he goes, with times like these, to still have people showing up means the world to him, to us, and to our children, and to these families. So thank you so much in advance for what I pray you're going to do.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is John Page. I live at 196 Willow Avenue in Hackensack, New Jersey. I also have 4 children, my youngest being 8 years old and attends the Fairmont Elementary School. I also serve as the senior pastor of the Mount Olive Baptist Church, located right here in Hackensack as well. And certainly our community has been engaged with everything that has been going on. I have been invested and engaged with everything that is going on as well. These ordinances and resolution, I believe, are a wonderful measure to ensure that we have continuity throughout the rest of the year, that human lives are being considered and protected in terms of having to find employment. Our students deserve to be able to finish out the year strongly with staff in place. And I believe that these resolutions, these ordinances will allow that to happen. I do realize as a leader that it is tough to make tough decisions, particularly in the midst of everything that is going on. But I really do appreciate the transparency and the movement in which the council has seen fit to ensure that we're able to maintain and be in a place where we can finish the year strong, we can clean up all that we need to clean up, and we can begin the new year in a good and strong fashion as a community. And so I would really hope that you will consider going ahead and making this happen so that we as a community can acknowledge what has taken place and we can move forward together. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Drew Ross, pastor of New Hope Baptist Church in Hackensack. I start my comments by saying that I have been a proud supporter of your campaign, your ticket, and your administration since the inception of your desire to serve. And one of the reasons why is because I think that we were all aware that the divide of the city under the last administration needed to be abolished with urgency. In addition to that, one of the things that really captivated me about your campaign was the precept or tenet that Hackensack would unite. I think that over this time we've seen it happen in various ways. I think in my tenure of being here in Hackensack, this is one of the very first times that I've seen the council working so closely with the Board of Education to ensure that the residents of Hackensack, the students within our district, the teachers that serve well understand that Hackensack is united. And I want to commend you for doing that. I think that that's a very honorable task that you've taken on. I think that in moments like this, and as Pastor Page has said as well, leadership can be challenging. It's even more challenging when we have to make difficult decisions and we aren't clear how those decisions may work out. However, one of the things I know about leading with integrity is that when we desire to do the right thing, even if we can't ensure how it will work out, we can stand on the principles of what is right, even when people don't understand it. And so that's one of the reasons why I bid you on behalf of so many residents that I pastor within the congregations that I have the privilege of serving with the Fellowship of Black Churches to urge you to do this. Our city has become broken and fragmented by the recent events with this deficit. And I think that over the last 3 weeks in the Board of Ed meetings, we have seen the bleeding. We've seen it on the news, we've seen it in the paper, we've seen it with testimonies, we've seen it on social media. And if there's a way using taxpayer money to help them out of the situation that we all are suffering through, the city can become the relief agent that it's always called to be. And I just say to you all, I think that not only does it show your ability to lead in challenging times, it also shows that we are still continuing to be Hackensack Unites. And I urge us as a community to support it, not so that we can fulfill our obligation to fix someone else's mistakes, but so that we can move forward so that this doesn't loom over the rest of the school year, so that it becomes a distraction for our students, our teachers, our parents, and our community, so that we can put what is most important first, and that is the lives of the generations to come.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Erin Messia. I'm at 229 Wilson Street. 2 students at Fairmount Elementary School, where I'm currently VP, along with Miss Shauna Shortridge for the PTA. So I'll put my PTA parent hat on now and share some thoughts that have been ongoing discussions with other parents, community members at Fairmount. There's a phrase many of us grew up hearing from Mr. Rogers: when things feel scary or overwhelming, look for the helpers. Tonight, our schools need helpers. When PTA members first learned about the $17 million shortfall facing the Board of Education, there were so many questions, so much frustration and devastation, feelings of loss and mourning. Upon hearing about the proposed $6.5 million payment from the city, it was like hope and could take a breath for the first time in weeks. The shortfall is happening right now in the middle of the school year while classrooms are full and learning is underway. The proposed one-time $6.5 million payment is not a permanent fix, but it is a critical act of help in a moment of real need. As parents, we see what it looks like, what this disruption looks like: uncertainty in the classroom, stress on educators, anxiety for our children who rely on consistency and support. When schools are destabilized, many your kids feel it immediately, and so do families. This vote's an opportunity for this council to be the helpers, to help us together manage and reduce harm within our schools, exactly as been proposed at the Board of Education meetings. It helps us take a breath while we work towards creative, sustainable, and holistic solutions. A yes vote says that when our schools ask for help, we respond. It says we are willing to step in to protect our students now while continuing the important work of finding those long-term solutions with transparency and accountability. Strong public schools are a reflection of a strong community. The return on this proposed investment in Hackensack schools will be long-lasting. We'll remember what happened when we look to the helpers. Facing this complex, wicked, and overwhelming problem when so much has gone wrong, so much being out of our collective control, this resolution to allow for this transfer seems right. When our children look around during challenging moments, they should see adults stepping up, working together, and leading with compassion, exactly as we're seeing here. So on behalf of myself as a PTA representative at Fairmount School, we urge you to vote yes, this one-time payment. Be the helpers that our students need right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council.
Good afternoon.
Ed Cabral, 296 Kaplan. I first want to thank you guys for having this emergency meeting and finding a solution to the Board of Education fiasco. But as a taxpayer who's lived in this town for about 27 years, I was a little bit disappointed, but after hearing a lot of these teachers and these representatives in the town who, again, the kids are not responsible for the adult mistakes. And I think that by helping them now, you will be helping tomorrow's future, which are the kids. So with that said, but at the end of the day, we still have a problem: mismanagement money in this town. And it's not about pointing fingers. I don't care if it was the previous administration, this administration, or 10 administrations before this. It's $17 million. Somebody has to be accountable for it. So as a taxpayer, who my kids are already older and out of high school and out of one of them who graduated out of college and whatnot, where does the accountability lie? Is that something I can ask a question you can answer, or this is just me actually?
We usually respond afterwards in
at the
our
end.
comments, but yeah. But
I'm sorry. Then I was in the bathroom one night when you
okay.
guys. I can always come back and because I got a list of things that I just want to.
So get them all out. You still have another minute and a half or so. So if you have more questions, go for
So
it.
again, as I said to you before, I don't think the kids should be failing on any of this that the adults are responsible for. But if we are going to lend money, where is that money coming from? That's number one. Number two, what conditions are attached to that funds? Stuff like salary freeze up until we get out of this whole situation, the accountability, making sure that we're not throwing good money into bad money. And today it's 17.5 million. With the 6.5, that's probably 24. Before you know it, another 7, you'll be $30 million in the hole. So all I'm saying is to have transparency, but probably to, like the gentleman said earlier, before, where you have an outside independent counsel come in and actually oversee the transition of the funds and how they're going to be used, and represent the taxpayer of this town, because obviously there is a mistake somewhere. Just needs to be corrected. And what are the steps that we're taking to correct that? Staffing. You know, within the last week or so, when all this chaos came up, I started looking at other neighborhoods like Fair Lawn, Ridgewood and whatnot, and they have about almost the same size of students in schools. We have probably 2 or 3 superintendents. We have vice principals, double, triple than what most of these towns have. Do they really need to be there? How are we going to control the revenue, the salaries? And how is that $6.5 million going to help us, if not dig a bigger hole? That's all.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Cabral.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor,
Good evening.
City Council, City Manager. My name is Rob Burgos. I live on Allen Street in Hackensack, and just to echo some of the sentiment from the last 2 gentlemen, what are the assurances of the $6.5 million that we're going to give to the Board of Ed, that the money won't be squandered just like the other money was? Another consideration, we're looking at a one-time transfer. Instead of a one-time transfer, maybe do a pavement plan, okay, with some sort of oversight, so that there's fail-safes. If the money is going faster than they received, then there's an obvious problem that we have to fix before we just continue to give them money, right? What are the terms, what are the stipulations with this money? Because it's very important. It's taxpayer money. They went through $170 million already. And now we're going to give them another 6.5. What's it going to be next year? You know, how are we going to remedy this this budgetary issue that the Board of Ed has? As much as I appreciate the influx of cash, so that the kids can finish out the year in a more stable environment in the school and in the classrooms, the Board of Ed has to be stabilized as a whole as well. So I think we should put some fail-safes into this money, fail-safes for the future budget, because these budgets are approved in April. So the Board of Ed knows when they have a deficit and when they don't. They have to read the audits. I just read the audits from the last few years. Every year for the last 4 years, it states that they're spending more than they're receiving. So where is the fail-safe? Where do we stop it? We got to work a little closer with the Board of Ed, and have a monitor come in and check out their finances and streamline the operation. I mean, this is a lot of money. 6.5 is a lot of money, but 170 million is even more. Good night.
Thank you.
What do I have to tell you about myself? Sorry. Jessica Cruz.
Name and where you live.
Okay, Hackensack alumni, Hackensack resident, parent, PTA president of Nellie K. Parker, parent of 2 children, pre-K 4, and a first grader who has an IEP. You could say hi.
Hi.
Thank you.
Hi.
Go sit with Daddy. So, go sit with Daddy. So you just heard from my son. And when I first learned about the $17 million deficit, not 170, the first thing I thought about was him. When he first got to the Hackensack Public Schools, my son could not sit at a table to eat a meal. He could not have a conversation with a peer. He hated anything that, when he was asked to color, anything with fine motor. And he had trouble making friends. He's been in this district now for 3.5, 4 years. He has a friend who he's sitting with. He can sit at a table at a restaurant and color and have a conversation with me and his little sister and his dad. And he actually enjoys coloring, which sounds like something small, but for my family, it's not. And I can't put a price tag. I can't even put a person to the success that he's made, because it's a team of people. It's all of the his child study team, all of his therapists. It's even the people in the hallways that know my son and look out for him at Nellie K. Parker. I can't put a price on that. That I know there's eyes on him, and every single person is looking out for him, knowing that he has a history of eloping. I can't go to a public place without being worried about him taking off, and that has decreased seriously since he's been at Nellie K. Parker. And everybody in that building is looking out for him and keeping him safe every day. And every person that is cut or could be cut means that I don't know if he's safe during the day. And as a mom of a child with special needs, who's also a special education teacher in the district, it was hard enough for me to accept that I had a child with special needs. But I love him with all of my heart, and knowing that there are so many people that are a part of his team at Nellie K. Parker keeping him safe, that's worth more money than we're talking about tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Carmen Bryn Morton. I am a resident at 307 Prospect Avenue here in Hackensack, New Jersey, and also a proud parent of a Nellie K. Parker student. I am also the secretary to our PTA president at Nellie K. Parker. And I also have to say thank you so much for considering this gracious amount of money that's going to hopefully carry us through the year. I know questions are being made about the need for the funds that are being spended. As Jessica just said, a lot of the staff that have been let go or have been noticed that have received notice that they're going to be let go have been special ed staff. I think that a lot of the funding that goes towards the need for special ed is very important because it also affects gen ed. When we have cuts in these programs, it overflows into the gen ed setting, and it becomes quite difficult for the gen ed teacher to manage as well when we don't have these extra bodies in the classrooms. So I do know that part of this deficit was an overhiring of staff, but are we looking at where these children are because we hired these said staff members? I know that as Jessica spoke, her son has made tremendous growth. I know other school districts may not have the same needs as our students do here. I know we also have bilingual programs with students in them. Those programs also were programs that seemed to possibly be in jeopardy of being cut. So these funds are really important. But I also have to say that this whole situation was a wake-up call for me. I think that our civic duty is so important. I could put all the blame on previous administration, the previous mayor, the previous board, but I wasn't there. I wasn't looking. I wasn't attending these meetings, and that's so important. I pay tax money, you know. I moved here when I was pregnant. Even then, I should have been paying attention because my son one day was going to be going to these schools. And when he graduates, I still will be paying attention because I still will be paying taxes. So it is very important lesson for me. I'm happy to know that my vote counted and that it's working for me, because seeing that the action that is being taken right now by this administration speaks volumes, when this could have just, guys could have just said, okay, oh, well, this is the problem and figure it out. But you're trying to work with the school district to fix it. The other thing is, I think also for the high school students that I saw speaking last week, this is also a wonderful learning experience for them. Unfortunately, having to see their teachers go through these things, I hope that this is a life lesson for all of them to understand how important their civic duty is, not just on the national level, but at the local level. Because these decisions that are being made behind closed doors without us present are what led us here. And I also have to say that teachers are not disposable. I was a teacher once. I left that career because I felt that I was disposable. No matter how much I spoke out for my families or for my students, it wasn't always met with great things, you know? But teachers, as we said, they've been showing up every day, no matter what, even though they've been faced with this. But I just wanted to say that they're not disposable, and getting them through June at least so that they can finish out this year, and then if need be, find other positions for next year, then that would be great. So if you guys could vote to at least get us through June, and hopefully going forward, there will be more checks and balances. But I do think that in stating that the overstaffing, we do need to look to see where our kids, specifically our kids with IEPs and special needs are, and how we can even do better for them. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public wishing to speak on agenda items?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mayor Gaines and the City Council. My name is Linda Pyro. I live at 402 Marvin Avenue in Hackensack for the past 44 years. My husband, Sam, went to school in Hackensack. His sister, brother, my two daughters, Samantha and Kayla, my grandson, Matthew. My heart is here. I'm a paraprofessional at Jackson Avenue School for the past 31 years. I served as vice president of the Jackson Avenue PTA for the 7 years consecutive. Children are my heart. They let me continue to see life through the eyes of a child on a daily basis, a gift so special, and I feel blessed. The last two Board of Ed meetings woke up memories of my own youth. Our Hackensack students from pre-K to the high school spoke of staff members of all positions in our district. One high school student spoke of how a teacher saved her life, and this resonated with me. It took me back to my 6-year-old self. I was a first grader at Herbert Hoover School in Bergenfield, New Jersey. My 37-year-old mother passed away from breast cancer that year. My family and my mother and father's friends helped out my father by watching my brother and I while he worked. My school family kept me on track. They provided me with consistency, kindness, and the true feeling of being loved. From my first grade teacher, Mrs. Winter, who attended Bloomingdale's Clothesline Art Show in honor of me winning an award for my chalk drawing picture when I couldn't attend. She had a frame for me, and I cherish her being there for me after school hours because she cared. My elementary school custodian, Mr. Hickey, he greeted me every day, checked on me every day. So my wish for all of our Hackensack students is to have a Mrs. Winter or have a Mr. Hickey in their lives. And I know many of them do because they spoke about them at both of the Board of Ed meetings. And that was just so beautiful that they have their voice and they're willing to share it with us. So by the City Council considering maintaining our school district's educational continuity until the end of the 2025-2026 school year for our Hackensack students and families, I truly thank the City Council for your consideration with the $6.5 million proposal. And I know that my other staff members too, when we heard the news, some of us cried, some of us smiled, couldn't get the smile off of our face like it was a true gift. So when you vote, please keep the children, the staff, and all the people who make Hackensack so special in your hearts. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public? Okay. Seeing none, motion to close to the public.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? I just wanted to, before I hand it over to the deputy mayor, I wanted to ask our city attorney, Mr. Malagiri, if he can just address the oversight obligations, limitations, role of this body vis-a-vis the school board for the public, because a few people ask about it.
Sure, Mayor, thank you. So the school board is an independent body to the council, but we share an auditor, which is useful in this situation. So the same certified public accounting firm that's auditing the city's financials is now, and this is not the case a year ago, is now auditing the school board finances. That's important, and that was critical in getting this initiative for the special meeting today, because we had continuity and seamless communication on the financial side. So we knew what the school board was going through. We understood it in some detail. We were able to get that information to Jim Mangan, our CFO, and to the council members so that we could understand exactly what the shortfall was that the city could help with. Here's how we've learned how this works. The school board has approximately $10.5 million in reserves, but the school board can't access those reserves for the shortfall in this year, $17 million, unless they can show the county superintendent, who's a state agent, an agent of the state, that they have the entire $17 million gap filled for the year. And the only way that could be is with the city's infusion of $6.5 million. So that $10.5 million of tax money sitting in the school reserves could not be used for the school purpose unless the city was able to do this. And that information was able to be understood and digested in a matter of days. And that's really the basis and the backbone for this initiative and how it's working. And as far as how is it going to be monitored, how do we know how we're going to spend the money? Well, if you look at the resolution for this evening, the money is for certified staff. The school board is going through a process by which they are considering a reduction in force on non-teaching staff, which is happening in the 25-26 school budget. And we are not going to provide this $6.5 million until such time. Of course, we're going to commit to it if the council votes that way tonight. But the money is not going to be transferred, as I'm told by our CFO and our auditor, until such time as the money in the reserve is used for this school budget, the school year, balance this year. So these are the basic controls we have. We have assurances from the school board. We all know there's a new majority on the school board. It's a new school board. We know that new school board has committed to righting the ship, fixing things not only in the 25-26 school budget, school year, but also in the 26-27, which is a whole nother thing. We've heard that the school board is considering bringing on an independent consultant to help advise with regard to moving forward with the finances and the program. Of course, we're going to get reports. The city is going to get reports from the common auditor between the city and the school board, so that the city council can be advised as to not only how the money is being spent in 25-26, balance of the year, but also moving forward and what the changes are going to be and the new look of the school system moving forward to operate within a budget. So, Mayor, that respectfully is an overview of, I think, the basis for how this is happening and also could happen, but also a general idea of the supervision which will be in place.
Thank you. And with that, I'm going to recuse myself from the next portion of the meeting. I'm going to hand things over to Deputy Mayor Toomey and ask for someone to fetch me at the appropriate time. Don't forget about me.
Will do. Okay. Okay. We will go on to new business, ordinances and resolutions now. We will We will read resolution number 41-26.
And Deputy Mayor, just as a point here, the titles are incorrect on the docket here, so I'm going to read the second one first. That is Resolution 41.
Resolution 42-26.
It is 4126, yep.
Okay.
Resolution number 41-26, resolution authorizing the City of Hackensack to make a one-time transfer of $6,500,000 to the Hackensack Board of Education to maintain educational continuity for the children of the city for the 2025-2026 school year by way of an amendment to the 2026 temporary budget. Whereas the Hackensack Board of Education is currently in the midst of a financial crisis due to the recently discovered funding shortfall of over $17 million, that absent immediate intervention will lead to a significant mid-school year reduction in force, i.e. layoffs, thereby severing instructional relationships and disrupting educational continuity for hundreds of Hackensack children. And whereas the Board of Education trustees who assumed leadership positions in January 2025, the current trustees, hired an independent auditor to assess the finances of the Hackensack Public Schools, who discovered a significant shortfall for the current school year and presented said findings to the public on January 21st, 2026, in accordance with statutory timelines. And whereas the audit revealed a systemic lack of fiscal diligence by former district administrators and the Board of Education from 2019 until it was discovered by the current board trustees in 2025, including reckless overspending and reliance on reserve funds, as well as the actions of the board majority who unquestioningly and irresponsibly rubber-stamped over 40 unbudgeted hires engendered by the erroneous claim, voiced repeatedly by then Board President Scott James Vickery, that trustees could not and should not oppose personnel recommendations by the superintendent, in clear contradiction with their statutory oversight obligations outlined in NJSA 18A:27-4.1 and fiduciary responsibilities outlined in NJSA 18A:11-1. And whereas the mayor and council commend the current trustees for seeking accountability and attempting to reclaim allegedly misappropriated funds by suing suspended Superintendent Thomas McBride Jr. and former business administrator Lydia Singh for allegedly conspiring with vendors to defraud the district. Whereas the City of Hackensack must acknowledge actions taken by the previous mayor and council during the same period of 2019 to 2025 that also had an adverse budgetary impact on the district, such as granting over 24 long-term tax exemptions, also known as pilots, to corporate developers for the purpose of constructing thousands of luxury housing units, which increase the student population without contributing a cent toward their education. And whereas these properties were consequently removed from the city tax rolls and the resulting pilot payments are not statutory funds allocated to the schools, thereby materially depriving the district of vital revenue for decades to come, while shifting the financial burden onto taxpayers who do not benefit from exemptions. And whereas the district's audit further revealed that the Board of Education forfeited approximately $15 million in tuition revenue since September 2020 and will continue to lose approximately $4,500,000 annually due to the severance of the half-century-long sending-receiving relationship between the Hackensack and Maywood Public Schools in 2019, a move that was welcomed by former Hackensack Mayor John LaBrosse in a December 26, 2018 open letter and an op-ed by former Hackensack Councilwoman Stephanie von Rudenborg published on January 18, 2019. And whereas the city has a solemn responsibility to all its residents, most especially its children, who deserve a stable learning environment, and whereas the mayor and council understand that the Board of Education must and will act to reduce their spending and cut costs, and share in the belief that the children of the city of Hackensack should not pay the price for this shortfall mid-school year, especially as state testing and the college admissions process are on the horizon. And whereas the mayor and council share in the belief that access to a high-quality public education is the fundamental bedrock of a thriving community and is essential for the future success and well-being of our youth. And whereas the mayor and council firmly believe that supporting our public schools will preserve property values, provide a free, quality education for all children, and ensure the long-term vitality of the city of Hackensack. And whereas the mayor and council share in the voiced concerns of our district students and city residents that the mid-year loss of classroom instructors would have a devastating and irreparable adverse impact on students, undermining educational programs, the continuity of instruction, and overall quality of the school system. And whereas the board must both urgently make cuts and pursue additional revenue streams in order to present a balanced budget for the 2026-2027 school year before they can be granted permission by the New Jersey Department of Education to use their own reserves to prevent the district from falling off a financial cliff. And whereas the mayor and council further find that this crisis constitutes exigent circumstances warranting immediate municipal action, subject to compliance with all applicable state budget laws. And whereas the city is currently operating under a temporary budget pursuant to NJSA 40A:4-19 and has been advised by its auditor that it maintains sufficient unassigned fund balances or reserves to support a one-time transfer without impairing municipal operations. And whereas the mayor and council take their fiduciary responsibility seriously and understand that providing one-time financial support is the most fiscally responsible action that can be taken in the midst of the school's financial crisis. And whereas the city acknowledges that in accordance with state law, any such transfer must be unconditional, shall not constitute a loan or receivable, and must be authorized by the Division of Local Government Services, now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the city of Hackensack, county of Bergen, state of New Jersey, that the city hereby authorizes a one-time transfer of $6,500,000 to the Hackensack Board of Education for the purpose of maintaining complete educational continuity for all students, as it is important that no child's learning environment is destabilized due to this budgetary crisis. This transfer is conditioned upon inclusion in the city's permanent municipal budget and approval by the Division of Local Government Services for any required budget amendment. The Chief Financial Officer, City Manager, and City Attorney are directed to prepare and submit all necessary documentation to the Division of Local Government Services to obtain approval for this appropriation. This transfer shall be unconditional and shall create no repayment obligation or debt on the part of the Hackensack Board of Education. By accepting these funds by resolution, the board shall agree to preserve full and direct educational services and instructional stability for the 2025-2026 school year in order to maintain continuity for all district students as outlined above. Be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. We will need a roll call, Deputy Mayor.
I'm sorry?
We will need a roll call, Deputy Mayor.
Yes.
Timmy, you can call it.
Okay.
Someone want to make a motion?
I'll offer.
Second.
Second. Okay. Deputy Mayor Toomey.
Yes.
Councilmember Clark Collins.
Yes.
Councilmember Carroll.
Yes.
Councilmember Diaz.
Yes.
The resolution passes.
Okay, on to Resolution 42-26.
Resolution 42-26 is a resolution authorizing a 2026 emergency temporary appropriation for the temporary budget, whereas NJSA 40A:4-19 provides that where any contract, commitment, or payments are to be made prior to the final adoption of the 2026 budget, temporary appropriations should be made for the purpose and amounts required in the manner and time therein provided, and now therefore be it resolved by the City of Council of the City of Hackensack that the following appropriations be made and that a certified copy of this resolution be transmitted to the Chief Financial Officer for his records. This would be a transfer of $6,500,000 for a contribution to the local school board. This will also need a roll call.
Okay.
Is there a motion?
I'll offer.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Toomey,
Yes.
Councilman Clark Collins,
Yes.
Councilman Carroll,
Yes.
Councilman Diaz.
Yes.
The resolution passes.
Welcome back, Mayor.
Thank you. And thank you, Deputy Mayor. Thank you. I did. So okay. We have another motion, or I need another motion to open up to the public. If anyone else from the public would like to speak on anything at all.
I'll make a motion.
I'll take one.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, hold on. Let me get my timer going. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Okay, go for it.
Shauna Hill Shortridge again. I just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good one.
Reverend Davis, Hackensack. I just want to say thank you to this board, this council. I know this was not an easy thing. I understand the concern about your own budget and concern for the city. I am grateful, as many other people, I have no children in school, but I am an avid support of the council and the school, and I appreciate your truly, truly, truly coming together at this time. We live in a city that is devastated, but is relieved right now. Our children are relieved. I do believe, I pray a lot and trust God that I said it on Wednesday night. It's a season. It's a difficult season, but we will get through it. And I also believe that as a city, you may not know, there are many of us can testify that we have proof right here, that we have people in the community who have been seeking ways, whatever they can do as community people to help. Can we fundraise? Can we do this? Can we do that? It shows the spirit of Hackensack. So as the spirit of Hackensack continues, again, thank you all so much for the students of the Hackensack school system. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Donna West again. I want to say thank you as well, but I also do have a concern now that it's off the agenda items, right? Okay, because I brought this up under, anyway. So we have a lot of speeding in Hackensack. I know not right now with all of the snow, but I had asked if there could possibly be ways to look at those either speed hills or something. A lot of the side streets are definitely impacted by people trying to get off the major streets, like a main street or something, and coming through our neighborhoods. I live on Union Street, and we have more children in the area. We have that park right there. I'd really like to see this council do something about looking at the speeding, the speed traps or something, because it really is an issue, I guess, as the weather starts to get warmer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Say your name now.
My name's Kenny.
Okay.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you for showing the students of Hackensack, heroes exist in the community. We don't have to wait for Shaquille O'Neal or Oprah to show up with a check. Hackensack supported Hackensack. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ed Cabral again. So, just wanted to make a couple of pinpoints here. I know the attorney said that he started with a whole new, the Board of Ed has a whole new staff. And the gentleman here, Timothy, reading off some of the ordinance. In order to make this city straight, you and I known each other for many years. You've come to my neighborhood and we've spoken. We got to stop pointing fingers on previous administration, everything. Got to start from scratch if you want to change Hackensack and make it strong. So when I hear him mentioning all that, has nothing to do with it. First of all, let me congratulate you guys for at least passing that $6.5 million to help the Board of Ed. But we still have a problem. I don't care whether it was the previous administration or not. I don't. He's telling me that the Board of Ed has new employees. I looked at the roster. There's employees there from the last 5 to 7 years. They're still there. To me, a new employee is if somebody who walked in and you're starting out fresh. If I owned the company, which I do, and I had a shortfall of $10 million, I can assure you I would either be arrested or I would be fired. That's two things. But I want to commend you guys for passing it and taking care of the Board of Education. That's priority. But I still want to see transparency. I still want to see the accountability of the $6.5 million and how it's going to be dispersed, whether it's done in intervals or however you're dispensing it instead of just giving it all out. And you'll be hearing from me. I'll be more and more involved. Again, you and I may agree or not agree on certain things, but there's one thing that you and I always have agreed on. We love Hackensack, or we're not going anywhere. And that's the whole thing. So I think that more and more people should really get out here and get involved and find out what's going on in their towns and how their taxpayers' money is being spent. That's all. Oh, and Thomas Freeman, City Manager? Ed Cabral, I'll call you. There's a lot of things going on with the snow. Thank you.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, motion to close to the public.
I'll offer.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, Deputy Mayor Toomey.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Mayor, members of the council, and residents of Hackensack. The decision for the city of Hackensack to advance the Hackensack School District the sum of $6.5 million was not made lightly. In fact, it was one of the most difficult decisions I have faced in my time here. This is an unprecedented situation, and I spent considerable time grappling with the best way to handle it. Every option carried consequences, and none were perfect, but doing nothing was not an option. At the core of this decision was our responsibility to the people we serve, our students, our teachers, and our entire community. We carefully weighed the potential impact on classroom instruction, school operations, city finances, and public trust. Our guiding principle throughout this process was to act in the best interest of Hackensack as a whole. I recognize that this decision may not make sense to everyone, and I respect that there may be differing opinions on how this should have been handled. However, given the circumstances before us and the realities we were confronted with, we concluded that advancing these funds was the most responsible path forward. This action reflects our commitment to stability, continuity, and the well-being of our community, especially our children. We advance these funds with the expectation that this action will be met with responsibility and the right decisions moving forward. While it may not be perfect, we believe it is the best decision available to us under the circumstances and with the cards we were dealt. Thank you for coming out. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councilwoman.
I just wanted to say that I have 2 kids that went through the Hackensack Public School. They're since graduated and they're adults now, good jobs. But, you know, I know how you feel. I also wanted to say that as a parent, I attended some of the trips that they went on. I was involved with supporting the PTA. But one thing I can say that I didn't do is I didn't attend those board meetings. And I think Carmen, the secretary of the PTA for the president at Nellie K, said it best when she said, she admitted that she wasn't paying attention to meetings, and that's an important lesson for her. So let that also be a lesson to all you parents. We're not the only ones who should be watching. You should be watching and taking accountability too. Those meetings are open to the public. just like our meetings are open to the public. And so now we've learned that we need to be more diligent and we need to be there. And also to the gentleman who said, stop blaming the other people or the other administration. We're not blaming. People have been asking, how did we get here? Well, that is how we got here, and we have to let you know that. So that's not blame, that's a fact. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman.
So, Councilwoman, you took one of my points away. Someone said something about pointing fingers. So we don't want to point fingers, and we can't point fingers, but we can remember the past. And you know what? We have to look into the future. We ran on a slate. Hackensack unites. We are united with you guys, the community, Board of Education, Recreation, Sanitation, Police, Fire, everyone. So we are here for all of you. We will try, thank you, we will try to do the best that we can. Moving forward, although it was a hard decision to give $6.5 million, but we thought about it and we agreed that it was the best thing for our community and to keep Hackensack united. So, we are going to work with the Board of Education. We are going to put a liaison representing the city with the Board of Education. So step by step, we will know how the 6.5 and any future spending is done as part of our, not agreement, but as part of us giving them the 6.5. So please, we are going to be more in touch, attend more meetings, be more vigilant to everything that is done with the Board of Ed. And I hope that you, again, follow us too. So, again, the teacher to student ratio skyrocketed. The numbers were crazy. Our auditor showed it. We don't want to lay anybody off, or I'm sorry, the Board of Education does not want to lay anybody off, but they are going to look and see what kind of cuts we can make and not sacrifice anything with our students. So thank you again. We will keep you updated on any further progress. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Diaz.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. I just want to say that for me today is a great day for Hackensack. I don't want to sound dramatic, but from July 1st, that was the day of last year that we were sworn in, is a day that I remember until I die. But today probably is along with that, the happiest day of my life in this administration, okay? Because we were able to fix something that needed to be fixed. And by contributing with this 6.5 million, I strongly believe that we doing a great service to the city of Hackensack. And this is something that we promised when we went through the campaign, that we want to hear the people. We want to be close to the people. We want to hear feedback. We want the people of Hackensack to feel satisfied with our work, and I think today is a great day to feel satisfied. And in my particular case, coming from an education background, I couldn't be happier. We don't want this to happen, but things happen, okay? Like my fellow council members say before, today was not a day to blame nobody, to point fingers. Today we came with a purpose that was to help to fix the problem, and I really think that we achieved that today. And I don't want you to leave this room without remembering this. When we thought of helping out the Board of Ed, I thought of the 5,000 students. We thought of the probably hundreds of teachers in Hackensack, but we also thought of about the 5,000 families that were affected by this. And today, after today, I think they will have a sense of relief, okay? And that's why I say that I couldn't be more happier than this tonight. So to you, thank you for your input, for your proposals, okay? And stay alert. Today, we are more united than ever. Today, we are more united than yesterday. And I hope that will continue like that. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Good evening. So I am incredibly proud in this moment of the action taken by this council. And I'm proud because, as people have said on the dais, this is what we said we would do. There's a lot of talk during a campaign, and people sometimes chalk it up to just being talk. And when you get in, you're going to be just like everyone else. I can say with confidence that this would not have been considered had it occurred a year ago. This would not have happened. And I say that because the schools have had trouble. And when the schools have had trouble in the past, that's their problem. They can go figure it out. Take your concerns to 2nd Street. We have our worries, they have theirs. As if the kids in those schools weren't Hackensack kids. As if the families that send their kids to our schools weren't Hackensack families. That's their problem. There's lots of questions about accountability. Who's responsible? Who's going to check? Who's going to watch? How did we get here, as folks said? I don't see it as blame. I don't. And I certainly don't see it as blame when, for the last 12 years, there was a lot of looking back at previous administrations to point fingers at previous administrations that served when I was a sophomore in high school. I don't remember the cries for unity and not looking back during those times. There's a financial crisis right now. And the crisis did not occur magically. It occurred because of people. It occurred because of actions. And it occurred because of inactions. And a lot of folks, not anyone in this room, but a lot of folks that now are saying, I don't know how we got here, know exactly how we got here. They know exactly how we got here. They know. So, as a taxpayer myself, I do think there's a level of accountability that is owed. And I also share in the council's belief that the children of Hackensack should not pay the price for what adults did or did not do to support the schools throughout this period where this deficit ballooned. I take a lot of pride in serving up here with these folks. I really do. We've been here for 7 months, and when Hackensack needed us, we acted. When SNAP benefits were taken for Hackensack folks, we didn't deliberate for months. We didn't say that's their problem. We jumped in and we asked you to jump in too, and you did. Because that's what we do here. When a Girl Scout came to us and said, I'd like to do something to help Hackensack families, We supported her and allowed her to do that because that's what we do here. When there was a project in Johnson Park that we didn't believe was going to service enough of our kids, we put the brakes on it, not because it was someone else's initiative, but because we want to make sure that what goes there benefits the greatest number of Hackensack kids and families. And I have to give credit to our councilwoman, Sonia Clark Collins, who helped revitalize a dormant recreation board since we have been here. This is who we are. This is who we are. And it's who Hackensack overwhelmingly elected us to be. With that, I'd like to ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you.